Hello students, I'm going to show you how to use arrays in Visual C Sharp. So let's get started. Over here, there are some definitions about arrays in C Sharp. So basically, an array is a collection or series of elements of the same type. So you will see the word collection a few times more in this lesson. Okay, basically a collection is a group of similar objects or elements. And there are basically three types of arrays: single dimensional arrays, multi-dimensional arrays, and jagged arrays. Okay, so let's look at the simplest of all, single dimensional arrays. So in a single dimensional array, an array stores elements in linear fashion. Okay, that is the easiest to understand. So let's look at the syntax. Okay, so you begin with the type of the array, which can be integers, strings, or anything else, or can be characters. And then you have these square brackets to indicate that this is an array of this type. Okay, and then you give the name of the array. Okay, and this is an example here. So in this example, we are going to declare a string array, and its name is called friends. Okay, so now this is one way of declaring a new array. Okay, and here's another way of declaring an array and initialize an array. For example, you declare the type and indicate that it's an array, and give it a name just like before. But in this time, you use the new keyword, okay, and then you indicate the size. Okay, and this type of initialization is optional, but is considered good practice. Okay, and this is an example. Now, what will you get if you do this in your code? Let's look at an example. So here, over on the other side, we have a very simple Visual C Sharp program in Visual Studio. If you use Visual Code, it should function in a very similar way. Now, let's try to duplicate the code from here. For example, this line. Okay, so let's copy this line, and then we replace these lines with the lines from the code. Okay, as you can see, there are no syntax errors, but there's are three dots. Do you know of what these three dots are? Well, as you can see, this is not a red squiggle, so it means there is a warning. It just said that unnecessary assignment to unnecessary assignment of a value to friends. That's because further down in the code, we do not use this variable. So Visual Studio thinks that is unnecessary. But again, then there's no error. So let's run it. Now it has finished running, but then nothing happens. Okay, so if you want to understand what is really happening, then you can try to do something else. For example, you can insert another statement here, which may say console. Sorry about that. Let me change it to English. Yes, let's say console dot read line. So let's hold the program here and stop execution for a while and see what will happen. So again, let's run it. So debug, start debugging. Now, as you can see, it's waiting for our input, so the program has stopped running. So how can you look at the values of the variable friends here?